Hey friends, happy Monday. Welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and I share What's for Dinner videos just like this every Monday to hopefully motivate you to cook more for your family and give you some new meal ideas. To be honest, this week I really don't have anything new to share with you. This week was just like a super simple, like feed the family kind of week for me. Half of the week Andy was out of town in Wisconsin looking for a place for us to move to. I do still plan on filming the Q&A. I think I'm going to get that done today. So if you have any extra questions, you can leave them in the comments down below and I will try to get those all added in to the Q&A about us moving. But he wasn't here, so I did super simple meals while he was gone. But he is back now and we should be signing a lease on a place today. But enough about that little update. Let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Starting off with Friday night, we had chili mac. To make this, I just make my macaroni and cheese recipe in the Instant Pot, and then I heat up some leftover chili. You could do canned chili if you want, but whenever I make a big crock pot full of chili, I always have leftovers, and I end up freezing it. So I pulled out leftover chili out of the freezer, because as you know, trying to use up everything in our freezer before our move, and I heated that up on the stove and then just stirred it into the mac and cheese once it was done. I will leave videos for both the mac and cheese and the chili down below if you want to see how I make those, and then it's really simple. You just stir them together. Saturday night, I made an Instant Pot Feta pasta. This is similar to like the TikTok Feta pasta that I usually make in the oven, but it's in the Instant Pot and I'm adding chicken to it. So I'm starting off by heating up some oil in my Instant Pot on the saute function, and then I'm adding in some chicken breast that I cut into little bite-sized pieces, and I'm seasoning that all over with some onion salt, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, a little bit of pepper, and I think that was it. And then just cook that until the chicken is mostly cooked. It doesn't have to be all the way cooked through because we are going to end up pressure cooking this. Then I added in 3 cups of water and some basil paste that I had in the fridge, trying to use things up, and then 3 cups of pasta. And then I'm not going to stir this, but I am going to press the pasta down into the liquid. And then I also added some tomatoes, little like grape tomatoes, and then a block of feta on top. And then I put the Instant Pot lid on this and I pressure cooked this for 5 minutes with a quick release at the end. And then you can go in and make sure your pasta is done. This is definitely a lot like liquidier than like the one that you make in the oven, but we kind of really liked it and it ended up being like super creamy. I did turn on the like saute function again at the end for just a little bit to kind of like evaporate some of the liquid and thicken up the sauce a little bit, and it definitely worked. You can also just let it sit and cool for a few minutes, and that helps thicken it up as well. This is delicious. It still tasted like the feta pasta, just a little bit like creamier, and then you've got the chicken in there, so it's like a complete meal. Sunday was Easter and we had family over for like a late lunch at like 2:30, and then we had leftovers of Easter dinner for dinner. So I'm just showing you like the aftermath of what was left over after everybody had made their plates. We had carrots, we had Publix potato salad, cranberry sauce, macaroni salad like my dad used to make, deviled eggs, hash brown casserole, green bean casserole, ham, and then we had some sliced cheese and crackers. We also had rolls. I think I forgot to mention that. And then we had a little veggie tray and also a fruit tray, and then banana pudding and some frosted cookies for dessert. And it was a great day. We had a little Easter egg hunt for the kids and we just hung out with family. Monday was spaghetti night. We had spaghetti, which I actually made with hot breakfast sausage, which was good. It was a little spicy, but good. And then, of course, marinara sauce over top of some spaghetti noodles, and then some steamed broccoli on the side that we seasoned with like Parmesan cheese and garlic powder. Okay, it is Tuesday, and we ordered pizza because we didn't feel like eating ham and cheese sliders with like leftover Easter stuff. So we got the new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza from Domino's. Yeah, they have not had stuffed crust before, so that's what that looks like. We got that with pepperoni, and there's a lot of Parmesan on there. And then we got a double ham large pizza. And Andy's pizza, which is a thin crust with Alfredo sauce, Philly steak, feta, and tomatoes. Which Elijah hates.
No, I don't hate it. I just hate tomatoes.
Oh, that's what I meant. Tomatoes, which Elijah hates. Wednesday, we did ham and cheese sliders, which is basically like a staple after any holiday where we have a ham. So I've got the brioche slider rolls from Aldi, cut them in half. Well, they're just rolls. I turn them into slider buns by cutting them in half. And then I'm loading on a bunch of ham. And then I'm going to top it with some cheese. We had some leftover cheese from like our little cheese board, so I used that first. And then I put on some more cheddar. And then I put the top of the bread on. And then I mixed together like 2 tablespoons of butter with a little bit of garlic salt and some like stone ground mustard. Mix that together really well and then brush that on top of the bread. And then I put some foil on this and baked this in the oven on 350 for 30 minutes. If you want to, at the end for the last 5 minutes, you could remove the foil and then the bread gets a little bit crispier, but my family prefers when I leave the foil on the whole time. So that is what I did. And then we had some fresh veggies on the side, some leftover cranberry sauce, and some chips. And finally, last meal of the week, we did cheese quesadillas and black bean soup. This was the last bag of black bean soup that I had in the freezer. And I think I've mentioned recently that Andy does not like the black bean soup. So we had it while he was gone. We had some other stuff while he was gone too that he doesn't like. But you'll see that next week because he was kind of gone like between the 2 weeks. But as I said, he is back now. But black bean soup, so good. I will leave a video down below of how I make that. And quesadillas, and then a little bit of fresh fruit on the side. And that is going to be it for this week's meals. Real quick, before the outro, I wanted to mention again, I am offering channel memberships. I'm not going to mention this every week, but I was made aware that if you are on an Apple phone and you're using the YouTube app, the join button will not show up. So you need to open it in like your browser or go on your computer and open it, and then you'll be able to see the join button. It's $1.99 a month. You get a special emoji, which is the little pointer finger from the grocery hauls. I'm going to come up with some more at some point, but that's all I got right now. You get member shout outs at the end of every What's for Dinner video. You get some behind the scenes like pictures over on the community tab. You get little channel badges. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but yeah, I am shocked and amazed that 6 of you are now channel members. That just means like so much to me. I almost cried when I got the first one, and then as people started signing up even more, it just, I didn't think anybody was gonna sign up. Like, honestly, I was just doing it because YouTube told me they would give me a bonus, and I was like, if nobody signs up, nobody signs up. I didn't think anybody cared enough to sign up, so it means a lot to me. So thank you to those of you that have. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments down below what you plan on trying from today's video, or which one you thought looked the best. And leave me a smiley face emoji down there in the comments as well to let me know you made it here all the way to the end. I hope y'all have a great week, and I will see y'all in the next one.